All right, a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com, and welcome to Night Moves show here for Thursday, January 22nd. Cruising along here in the first month of the year, and we've got a great sports betting card for you here on Thursday, including uh, action in the NBA, NHL, college basketball as well. There's been some great tennis action here tonight so far, still continuing while we're on the air here, and of course, golf underway tomorrow with the Amex. Get ready for another tournament. See if we can't hit a good one here this week on the PGA swing, and it should be a good weekend of sports betting. UFC also getting back underway for 2026 with their new television contract, and should be an exciting uh, uh, card here this weekend, including that main event matchup between Gaethje and Pimblett. Should be a good card there on Saturday night from here in Las Vegas. Well, thank you for joining me here on the show. We'll do a little recap from yesterday, but we'll get right into the action here. Really, not an overwhelming day of sports there. We did have some great games from the action there, especially in college basketball last night on Wednesday. Some late night action we saw. Uh, I'll just note San Diego State and Grand Canyon. We did have a winner here on Grand Canyon. A little bit of a controversial call at the end. Uh, Went with the Lopes in that one against my Aztecs, and well, maybe I got a little lucky with Grand Canyon there. San Diego State fans certainly a little bit upset with the way things went down, but Grand Canyon got the win there in the end, and probably a pick'em affair there. Some people I think may have had to lay a point or so, but it was San Diego State falling to Grand Canyon in that one, 70-69, as San Diego State had their first loss in Mountain West play, and Grand Canyon keeping their conference hopes still going. They're looking good so far in the Mountain West here this season. Also, just want to note Nebraska. How about Nebraska with a win there last night over Washington to improve to 19-0? You know, when you got uh, Indiana winning the football title and Nebraska undefeated in basketball, it feels like we're in a new world here for this old man. But no doubt, Nebraska, a fun team there to watch, and a pretty strong team both offensively and defensively. It doesn't feel like they're a fluke. Certainly a lot of great teams in the country, and Nebraska will be a fun one to watch, see how far they can get. We've still got a few undefeated teams left here so far this season. Also, exciting one, Creighton with a 94-93 win over Xavier. They rebounded their own missed foul shot there at the end to score the hoop at the buzzer and get the win there. Xavier looked really good in that game, but Creighton still managed to get the win there in that one. Uh, Florida Atlantic got a win over Tulane, a good one last night, 79-74. The Owls lead the American with a 6-1 record. FAU, they're a really young team, man. This team, we remember their great run last year. Yeah, you know, they're not perfect here right now, but hey, they lead the conference here, and not only that, man, they are clutch. They play in close games and they're getting wins. They didn't get the money in that one, but they did get the win. Kentucky held off Texas last night by the score of 85-80. Game was tied 40-40 at halftime. A good game there for sure. Texas ended up getting the money though in the game there. I think they were getting 7 in that contest. And did we have the winner with them on here on Night Moves? You bet we did. We had the Texas Longhorns here on the show. And also a few more from last night. IU Indy did their thing. They won 103-85 over Oakland. How about Citadel? 77-75 over Furman in overtime. Furman was a 10.5-point favorite there in that one and led by 19 points with 10:50 left in the game. But Citadel came all the way back for a nice win there, worth mentioning last night. Gonzaga didn't get the money against Pepperdine. Graham Ike was another late scratch dropped the line from 30 to 28, but Gonzaga could win only by 24. And that was Gonzaga over Pepperdine. That was their 51st straight win over Pepperdine. uh, over Pepperdine. Only one streak has ever been longer in the history of college basketball, one team over another. So Gonzaga will probably pass that. It was UCLA beat Cal 52 times in a row back between 1961 and 1986. So, well, you couldn't exactly take Gonzaga on the money line as a 28-point favorite, but they did win that one for the 51st straight time. Poor Waves here. Waves have had a nice, I don't know. They've won some games here and there. Gonzaga's won 13 straight. They're 20-1 so far this season as well. So just a few tidbits and games last night. We did have some other winners here, certainly on night moves last night to discuss with you. I had Tulsa over Memphis there, laying the points as a show winner last night here on night moves. And we also, like I said, had that win there with Grand Canyon. All right, had some winners also in the NBA here last night on night moves. We had Pacers and the Celtics game to go under. We had the Knicks to win over the Nets. I'm trying to calculate here to see if they covered the spread. Let's see, they were minus 11 and they won by 54. Okay, yes, they did cover that spread. Knicks, yeah, players only meeting before the game. I guess they said, let's just take out our frustrations on the lowly Nets. I know it was about the Knicks, but it might have been more about the Nets. Only 66 points in the game, and they were mired there in the third quarter, pushing just like 48 points. So embarrassing performance for sure for the Nets in that one. And also NHL winners here last night on the show include the Anaheim Ducks against Carolina. How about it with the Ducks last night? They were able to get the 2-1 win in a shootout. We also had the Flyers and the Mammoth game to go over, 5-4 final. We had the Penguins winners at the Flames. So a few winners there on the ice there last night. Hey, thank you for joining me here on the show, everybody. We're going to go over the games here in just a moment. I want to say hello to the chat pros here right now and see who's hanging out with me here tonight. We'll cover the action here for Thursday. Modest cards here for sure in the NBA, 8 games, in the NHL, 8 games, and I think I picked 8 games in college basketball. Why wouldn't I? Maybe it's 7. I don't remember, but preview the best, mostly mid-majors, but there is one Big Ten game I think worth going over. And maybe we can take a request or two if you guys are need it. So thank you to everyone. Let's say hello to the folks in the chat. Tim J starts us off here to say hello. Thank you to Tim. And got Timmy Two Shoes. Also, the Tims are here tonight. Cal Dog ready to go. I want to say hello to Gaming Gang there tonight. Thank you to Gaming Gang there. Looking at that. Oh, I can't see what that avatar is there. It looks, I'm not sure what that is. Is that a cake decorating contest? Or is it a poker? Is it? I can't tell. Anyways, let's see who else. And Mr. Westwood, you're right. Mr. Westwood did. In fact, it was San Diego State that went off the 1-point favorite. That's right. So, hey, look, I had Grand Canyon there. I just know how tough it is to play there against not only the Lopes, but the Havocs as well. That great crowd that they have. And, they found a good conference there, Grand Canyon and the Mountain West. Too bad it's going to get broken up next year a little bit. It seems like pretty good matchups with Grand Canyon and some of those Mountain West teams, but they'll probably dominate in the future Mountain West, I would imagine. Who else is here tonight? Jacob is here. Jacob Zakai is here today. And I think that's it for the greetings. Oh, here's Nexus as well. And thank you to Gaming Gang. Let's like it and subscribe. Hit that like button, pass it around, share it, and do all those things that you do here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, the 50,000 subscriber juggernaut. Ron Jeff here today. I'm flying solo tonight here on the show, so we'll get right to the action here for Thursday and talk a little basketball and then some hockey here tonight on Night Moves. Thank you for joining me on the show. And like I said, we got some great tennis action going on, and know we've got some Aussie friends also here, always visiting us late night on the show. And yeah, hey, there's a game coming up here in just a few moments down in Australia. So hey, we'll keep an eye on that one too. Here, let's see. I know we had it here coming up with Sydney, I think it was. And yeah, Sydney Kings going up against the Tasmania Jack Jumpers. You gotta like Sydney here in this one to roll, don't you? Come on, Sydney, maybe Sydney and over. We'll still be we'll be off the air before it's over. So, well, we can always do it here. You want to go live? I'm gonna take Sydney here and over. I'm gonna parlay them up. Why not in the middle of the night here on Night Moves? I'll lay 6 points. We'll go over 175.5. What do you say? All right, how square is that? Let's get into the action here, though, in the NBA for Thursday night. Good card here. No more football, but hey, we got plenty of basketball to worry about. We'll get right to the action here. I want to hear from you in the chat. When you do comment here in the chat, we'll show your picks on screen. You can be the hot handicapper here. Make your picks in the chat, and we'll show them on the screen for everybody to see, and you can brag to your family and friends and say, look, there it is. All right, let's get a roll in here. Oh, I want to say hello. There he is. There he is. There he is. That was for you, Josh. Maybe Josh just got in and missed it. In fact, the line has moved here actually to Tasmania, back to Tasmania. The move's been on Sydney tonight, but the Jack Jumpers just took a little bit of action. I'm going to still go with Sydney to roll tonight. All right. Hey, Herb Gillespie as well, talking about Dior Johnson there. And Mr. Murray here as well. He likes Philly on the money line. I think that's that game against the Rockets. We're going to preview it here in just a moment. I think we can get started now. Thanks for the salutations, everybody. Oh, real quick. Hey, let's talk about why we're here, and then we'll get going. You can go over to Tony'sPicks.com and get our best bets for the action here on Thursday over at Tony's Picks. I went with the soccer as my featured package there, and I went 1-2 in the Champions League there yesterday. A little bit fried there a little bit. We did have we did have one winner with Juventus game to go under there yesterday. That was our winner, but fell just short here with Bayern Munich. I laid 2.5 with Bayern Munich, and they fell down to 10 men on a red card that prevented them there, and then. PSV and Newcastle, I did have the over in that one at 3.5. Newcastle did win the game 3-0. So a couple there. Let's take a look at the handicapper leaderboard here over at Tony'sPicks.com and see who did well on the site on Wednesday there. And let's take a look and see who was crushing it. Stephen Duncan, another great day for Stephen up there at over 3 units with an 8-4 day on the ice here yesterday. Also, you got Nick, a couple of winners in there. Alanitos won his game. DeAndre with a winner yesterday as well. Justin 2-1. There's Mills 2-1 as well. We're always going to focus on DeAndre when he's got a winning day. And so we can take a look at his winner there yesterday at Virginia Tech, plus the points against Syracuse there yesterday. Good job, DeAndre. And he gets it done there with that winner. Hey, go over to Tony'sPicks.com. You can click the All Cappers tab. Find the handicapper of your choice. Click on their handicapper profile page, and that's how you get signed up. Hey, I'm still up 2.5 units for the week, and I hope to keep on getting it done. Still 7-3 for the week here. Last 7 days in college basketball. Laid off the premiums here on the site yesterday in college basketball, but probably come at it here on Thursday, and maybe we get some tennis action in here. Like I said, I only pick the closest matches here on Tony'sPicks.com. You're not going to get any $2 or $3 winners from me, or not even the big dogs, really. I just like to stay to those tightly rated contests, really the ones that are close to a pick 'em for my premium picks here. And we're in the second round, third round coming up. So as those matches become tighter, we get better players in there, be closer lines. Some of them get pretty, one-sided here. Not all of them. Had some great matches here last night and tonight. All right, let's go with our coverage of NBA basketball here right now. And also, I want to say hello to Teflon to Don. Don is here as well. Thank you for being here. And Josh here, he's going to be watching it with me, but maybe I'll turn it on here. We're just about 10 minutes away, but I do have Wawrinka and Arthur G here going to a fifth set here in the second round. Wow, it should be interesting there. All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining me here on Night Moves. Mr. Wesker's in the chat as well. All right, here we go. Let's get rolling here with the action on Thursday. And we'll start it off here. Hopefully a little better card than last night, with the matchups anyway. There we go. All right, there we are. First up, let's go to the NBA here with the Denver Nuggets on the road here, taking on the Wizards. NBA action here for Thursday, January 22nd. Denver, of course, going to be a big road favorite here, but they actually have lost 2 in a row here of late. We know Washington's on a big-time losing streak, so we won't bang on them too much here, but nonetheless, Washington has lost 7 straight games coming in, but the Nuggets have lost 2 in a row here of late. Losses to Charlotte and Denver at home. Losses to Charlotte and the Lakers at home. Washington, meanwhile, despite losing those 7 straight games, and they were looking pretty bad, they have covered here in 2 straight, getting the points from Denver and the Clippers. I slipped up with saying Denver because these teams actually met just 5 days ago. Denver won at home 121-115. Washington did get the money in that game. Denver is a pretty good cover team on the road, 15-9 ATS. Washington, meanwhile, just 16-23 ATS as an underdog. And like I said, the teams just met here recently, and that was Washington getting 10.5 on that day in the 6-point loss. Here they're getting 5.5 points at home. Denver is 7-2 straight up in the last 9 games against the Wizards, but have gone just 1-4 in the last 5 games against Washington. Denver, though, 6-1 ATS in their last 7 on the road. As we talked about, maybe they're a little bit better covering their numbers on the road. Washington's gone under in 9 of their last 13 games coming in, but this series has gone over in 8 of the last 12 games overall, and Denver, a massive over as a favorite, actually 22-8 to the over as a favorite. Can't be ignored, really, when you think about it there. So maybe we can hear from you in the chat if you guys want to make a pick and share it with our fans here. We got a couple dozen folks riding right now with me here on Night Moves, and I'll probably pick up here in a little bit, but let's take a look, see what you have here with Denver on the road. Jamal Murray, he is probable. He's been bothered by a hip injury here, but they'll have him in. Of course, no Jokic still, but that hasn't really been the problem. Now, granted, Denver is finally, maybe it has caught up to them a little bit here with 2 straight losses. And not only that, with that failure to cover against Washington, they've actually failed to cover the spread here in 3 straight games. But before that, it was kind of all systems go still with Denver. Statistically, they didn't miss Jokic, or at least spread wise and winning. Also, they haven't really missed Jokic that much, but let's get him healthy and back in here. But Valanciunas is questionable here. Brown, he's out again. Cameron Johnson is still out, of course, but also Hardaway Jr. probable, Aaron Gordon probable here for the Nuggets, for the Wizards. They do have several guys actually on the injury list here today. AJ Johnson, questionable with an illness. Marvin Bagley, questionable with an illness. Chris Middleton, questionable with an illness. Reminds me, take you back to the take you back. Remember the famous game with the who was it? Was it the Nuggets and the Jazz that were going to play that game in COVID time? Remember, and they had the crowds going crazy. These two teams were ready to go, and then all of a sudden, the referees are on the headset, and we're all wondering what's going on. We knew what was going on, but nobody wanted to say it at the time. Also, Koulibaly, questionable here. He actually looks pretty good here, possibly to get it with his back soreness, but he actually could make this lineup upgraded here, so that looks pretty good. But also, Vukcevic is out as well. Still no sign of Trae Young, of course, and of course, like I said, we did get the word Cam Whitmore, so a lot of is out for the season. So a lot of question marks here for the Wizards. They've been able to get the money here in a few spots, but the Nuggets have their own issues as well. Maybe we can go to the chat and see what you guys have to say in this one. The Wizards also just 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 games. Basically, the 2 games they just covered. They were on a 5-game non-cover streak, as well, a losing streak. I mean, they've lost 7 in a row, obviously. Let's see what you got in the chat here right now. We just saw. Let's see. We just saw. Let's go to it here. All right. Jimmy Choo Shoes, he wants to play a prop today with Alexander Sarr here. Mr. Wesker's going to go back to Washington for a little money line there, it looks like. Want to say hello to Arnell in the chat. Good to see Arnell. He says, what do you see the Golden State Warriors doing by the NBA trade deadline? Oh, man.
Final.
I think they're standing pat. I don't know if they have any options here, really. They obviously need to do something here, but looks a little tough for those guys, huh? And let's see here. Oh, talking injuries here with Timmy and Mr. Weskers in this game. And let's see here. Nuggets backups can still do it over the Wizards here. And the Wizards, like I said, they're shorthanded too, though. And Nuggets, 6 of their last 7 on the road, says Teflon to Don. And I do too. I know a lot of people, not sold on Sarr, not a flashy player, that's for sure, for the big man. All right, maybe Jacob says, how about the under in this one today? Okay. And let's see here. Who has the better bench, says Mr. Murray. Maybe that's where it's going to be decided. Well, look, the Denver Nuggets have the better everything in this, I think, here. So, I don't know, maybe that is, that could be the case there for the action for this one tomorrow. And just, I don't know, 5.5. It seems manageable. The Wizards did get that money last time a little bit, so I think that's kind of a factor as well in this game. So, all right, I think we've had you guys chime in here pretty much on this one between the Wizards and the Nuggets in this one. Man, I kind of want to grab these Wizards here today. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Washington here plus the points. it may be more algorithm based. I think the Nuggets are going to have the better team out there, but I'm going to take a shot here with the Wizards plus the points in this one. Look, this one probably, I think it ends up going over. Maybe that's what we should have went with there. Actually, yeah, Washington's been going under here of late. If you look at, like I said, 22-8 to the over for uh, uh, Denver here as a favorite. So, yeah, I'm going to try the dog here in this one. And Greg made it today. Great to have Greg as always in here. Let's move on here to the next one right now and take a look at the Hornets and the Magic here. NBA action for Thursday. Got Orlando coming in here 23-19. They've won two of their last three, despite dropping the last one to Memphis on the second game. Remember, they have not played here, Orlando, since that trip to Europe where they split those games with the Grizzlies. So their first game back from that, they still won two of three coming in for Charlotte here. Meanwhile, they come in against the loss to Cleveland last time out yesterday, 94-87. Charlotte was pretty far behind. They kind of rallied a little bit, but they still finished short of the money and scored just 87 points in that game. Still, Charlotte is the better cover team here. Uh, uh, by far, if you think about it, Charlotte is 25-19 ATS despite a 16-28 record. They're also 21-15 as an underdog. Orlando's not a very good favorite, just 12-19 against the spread as a favorite. They haven't been covering very well either. Orlando just 5-12 ATS in their last 17 games, although they do fare pretty well against the Hornets here in the heads up. Although the Hornets did win back in December, 120-105 at Orlando as a 5.5 point dog. That snapped a 5-game losing streak to the Maj. Charlotte just 1-5 straight up and ATS in the last 6 games, and that win was the last time that they met back in December. So, look, Charlotte is a decent cover despite their poor record, and Orlando kind of the opposite, right? We've talked about these before. Orlando 23-19 straight up, 13-6 straight up at home, 19-12 straight up as a favorite, but 12-19 against the spread as a favorite. So, if you look at it on the surface here, this keeps happening with Orlando a little bit. So, all right, we'll see what you guys have in this one. I'm gonna grab the Hornets plus the points. I mean, this is where they're getting the money. Yeah, the Hornets are on a back-to-back. We saw them there last night in that game against Cleveland, get blown out in the Ball brothers game, but I'm going to take him in a bounce back here with Orlando coming back in off of that Europe trip. Give me the Hornets here on Thursday night. Let's get the plays from you in the chat. I'm feeling mighty contrarian here right now. Who'd want to take a team that just scored 87 points last night? Well, I guess it's better than taking the team that scored 66 points last night. And here we go with the Gibson line. Oh, that was the Denver game there. Thank you, Greg. Nexus says he's got the Hornets in this one. They've really excelled there, 8-1 with no rest against the spread. So, look, we know they're not going to be like, hey, we just played last night and we're really good now. Usually they're going to be getting a few extra points because of that. Those scenarios, and it's worked out their way for Charlotte so far. Not only that, Charlotte 11-5 ATS in their last 16 games overall. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under, and I'd probably still look that way. You have a Charlotte team here that is 14-22 to the under as an underdog. So I think that kind of stands out there. Mr. Wesker's ain't going to lay any points with the Magic. Jimmy says the Hornets were looking bad last night, but he'll take them here now. And Let's see here. Gaming Gang. I think he likes the Magic here in this one. Also, Cal Dog on the Hornets with the points. The Gibson line here, I think, is on the Magic in this one, maybe slightly to the over. Jacob says Hornets and the points. Greg says they're going to be drained after that Cleveland game. Well, great point, Greg. But again, go back to also what our fine new commenter here said about what Nexus said that they're 8-1 ATS on no rest. All right, let's go to the next one here right now and take a look at the Rockets taking on the Sixers in this one. Shades of Olajuwon and Barkley, for me anyway. The Rockets on the road favored here by 1.5 against the Sixers tonight on the road here. And the Rockets come in cleaning things up again, back to some winning ways after that little bit of a slump they had for sure. Houston's won 3 in a row, covering, pardon me, you guys, 2 of those last 3 games are off of a win over San Antonio, 111-106. They got the money barely in that one, but they did get the money. Houston here struggling ATS for sure, but bouncing back here with 3 consecutive victories after their probably their biggest slump of the season. Philadelphia still 24-17 ATS, but this is not, we talked about them before and some of their roles that they've been pretty good in, but they've been a better favorite than an underdog, that's for sure. And the Sixers are just 10-13 ATS at home. These two teams have not yet met this season, but Houston is just they're 4-1 straight up, but 1-4 ATS. 4-1 straight up in their last 5 games. Houston's 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games against the Sixers. Like I said, haven't met yet this season. Philadelphia's gone just 2-4 straight up in ATS in their last 6 games overall. 6 straight meetings between these two teams have gone over, but Houston's gone under in 10 of their last 11 games coming in. Philly's gone over in 6 of their last 8 games at home. So again, Houston, big time struggles there for about a week and a half, probably even 2 weeks there. They weren't covering much at all. Philadelphia comes in here off of a loss to Phoenix at home, 116-110 is a 2.5 point dog. They've actually, like I said, just they are 1-3 straight up in ATS in their last 4 games overall coming into this one. So let me hear from you in the chat here, maybe with the Rockets and the Sixers here. Maybe the Sixers at home can get it going in this one, but let's see what you have here in the chat. Thank you for joining me on Night Moves. All right, want to say hello in the chat here to Personal Account joining us here today. All right. Also here, let's see. Mr. Murray says Philly all the way. Maxi's going to crush them. I agree. I agree. I don't know about crush. I'm taking the Sixers, though, as my play here on Night Moves tonight. Give me the Sixers here to win over Houston tonight. All right. And Greg said the Gibson line here is on Philly tonight. And Mr. Wesker's going to fade this bad Philly team. Well, I mean, look, the record's fine right now, 23-19. Yeah, they're not quite the same record here, of course, as Houston right now. Steven Adams is out for Houston here. PG questionable. Embiid is probable here, so Houston for Gaming Gang says Sixers been slacking here of late. And Greg says Philly might get lucky here. Cal Dogs on the Rockets here. And what about the total? Says Timmy. Yeah, no total for me yet. I'm going 3 sides so far. I will say that people say, like, especially when we have DeAndre and he's giving out the sides. Uh, I'm not saying I'm a handicapper looking for attention, but everyone's got a side. I've always kind of gravitated towards the total, anyways. But also on the shows, you don't get as many handicappers picking totals, so I kind of think it's kind of a part of the, uh, I don't know, part of the program for me, if you will. All right. Houston by 12, says Jacob, to blow out the Sixers here. Oh, no total on the graphic. I see what you're saying. The total is okay. Yeah, I got you there. 1.5, and I don't know where does 6 come from. I don't even think I have a 6 in the total. Let me fix that. Thank you. We're gonna fire the graphics man here. 221. It has gone down just a little bit. Here from maybe 222 or so far. So, all right. Appreciate it, gang. Let's keep it moving here right now on night moves here. Thank you for all your plays as well. The Gibson line here says Philly. And Gaming says, yeah, Houston definitely is an under team right now, big time for sure. I mean, although they did go over in their last game when they were favored by, oh gosh, I can't even remember now. It's five or 6 games ago, but you're right. What did I say? 1-10 to the under in the last 11 games for Houston. All right. Keep it moving on our 8-game card here on Thursday. We'll go to the next one here now with the Warriors on the road taking on the Mavs. In this one, you got the Warriors favored by 4, and the total here 232, maybe up to 4.5 here right now. For the Warriors here, we know JB's lost for the season. Really a bummer. You got Big Al is probable in this one. But Mavericks, of course, missing their star in Davis here. Flag is no longer on the injury report, but Dallas does have some names on the injury report tomorrow. You got D'Lo questionable, Gafford questionable as well. Washington is probable here in this one. Both teams come in here pretty warm right now. Dallas has won 3 in a row coming into this one with consecutive wins here of late over Utah twice and the Knicks. They covered all of those. They're in a good roll right now. Golden State, meanwhile, yes, they are off that loss, and we'll see. Part of their hot streak was when they were healthy, but now, like you guys said, would they have to make a deal here and add something? Uh, with Butler here out for the rest of the season right now, they did get blasted in that game by Toronto, 145 to 127. It actually stopped a hot streak that the Warriors were on. They've still covered 4 of their last 5 coming into this one. They are just 8-13 against the spread on the road. Dallas has been a good home dog. They're 14-10 ATS at home. They're also 16-12. ATS is a dog. They've covered 9 of their last 11 at home, despite a bit of a cold streak there for a while before they've been getting hot here again. They've won 4 of their last 5 right now. Dallas has gone under in 7 of their last 10 games. Overall, coming in, they're 19-25 to the under this season. Although as an underdog, they're just 14 overs and 14 unders. So usually when they're favored is when their higher scoring games occur. However, Golden State, we know they're an over team. They've gone over in 4 of their last 5. They're 22-12 to the over as a favorite here, and they are favored. But what will they have in terms of lineup here now, and how will they mix up this lineup with JB now out here and what we saw in the last game with this team getting beat, you know, pretty bad here actually. And you're going on the road to take on a Dallas team that, uh, should have their way with it, I would think, here in this one right now. So I'm going to take the over here for sure with Golden State and Dallas here tonight. Dallas certainly live to win this one, aren't they? Let's see what you guys have in the chat here. Look, a good matchup for Golden State as well. I guess you end up with uh, Moody in there now, right? Pods in there, Curry, Pods, Moody, Post, and Green. Post and Green sounds like a cereal. All right, let's go to the chat here in this one. See if I'm right. What do you guys have? What is the lineup there for the Warriors? Does that sound right to you guys? Here we go with this one, and it's going to be Mavs with the points for Cal Dog Gaming Gang, liking the Mavericks here as well. If Christie's in, he's going to play those 3 threes. And the Gibson line here says the Warriors will bounce back in this one, get the cover in an under possibly there, bounce back without JB. Clay on his points as he plays up against his former team here. How about, I don't want to say it, but you guys are talking about who could the Warriors go. I don't know how the trade action could work right now. We know a lot of regret for Clay these days. Could he ever get back together with this team? Mr. West was done with the Warriors. Here's Curry on his assists. And let's see here. Greg, Warriors and the under. And how about it? I mean, why not? I don't know if it's, same type of thing, but man, could we see? I mean, Dallas isn't going to, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs here. Why not? Let's speak it into existence. Kerr, he's going to play the whole bench anyways, sometimes to his own detriment. Mr. Weskers hates that when he's down there playing number 10 and 11 and 12. All right. Personal account has also Warriors bouncing back in this one. Greg says the Warriors play better on the road. There they are, 8 and 13 straight up and against the spread on the road. All right, I think that's going to do it in this one. I'm going to grab the over tonight. All right, we got the Bulls and the Timberwolves, two teams who should be in the same division, if you think about it, right? How are they in the opposite conferences here? But let's go to Target Center here, where Minnesota's lost 3 in a row right now coming into this one with consecutive losses to Houston, San Antonio, and Utah. For Chicago here, they've won 2 straight with wins over Brooklyn and the Clippers, but still going to have the Timberwolves, pretty big favorite here in this one. Favored by 9 and the total 238. Again, here we have the Bulls in this underdog role. 15 and 7 ATS. No matter how you look at it, this is where the Bulls usually are pretty competitive here. And, well, we know Minnesota, they're a crummy favorite. Just 14 and 20 ATS as a favorite. 9 and 12 ATS at home. Josh Giddey, he's moving closer. I said, is today the day finally here for Giddey? Could he possibly get up here and make this game here finally with that hamstring pull? Patrick Williams is questionable here for Chicago, but they're getting big-time points from this Minnesota team. Minnesota did blast these guys last time they met back in December, 136 to 101. The Bulls did win back there. Let's see. Okay, no, that's fine. Let me just continue on with some of the trends for these teams and get your pick ready here in the chat for this one tonight between the Bulls taking on the Timberwolves here in Minnesota tonight. 9 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams have gone over. The Timberwolves are a pretty strong under team at home, just 7-14 to the under, but this series is a big time over. Minnesota has gone over, however, in 5 of their last 7. Chicago's gone over in 4 of their last 5, although Chicago's also gone under in 4 of their last 5 on the road. The Bulls come in having won and covered 4 of their last 6. Overall, Minnesota's just 2-4 straight up and against the spread in their last 6 games coming into this one. So let's hear from you in the chat here tonight when the Bulls take on the Timberwolves, getting those points in their best role. What do you guys think here in this one? We'll go to the chat. Mr. Wesker's going to take the Bulls in this one. The Wolves just can't cover against these guys, says Mr. Weskers. It's just a trouble spot. Yeah, but of late, though, they did, like I said, they blasted Chicago earlier last year. They won at home 127-108, covering 11.5, and they also won at Chicago 133-119. So that has indeed been the case, although the last 3 Minnesota wins have been covers, and when Chicago has won the game, they've covered. But in the 2 games that Chicago has won here over Minnesota in the last couple of years, it has been Chicago covering and winning and covering as an underdog. Ant here for 35 plus, says Gaming Gang. Nas Reed here for Timmy Two Shoes. Which Bulls will show up? I would think the ones that do well as underdogs, I think. And can this game possibly be an over here tonight, says Timmy Two Shoes. Oh, yeah, it can. Oh, yeah, it can, I think. Let's see. The Gibson line here says take Chicago and maybe an under here. Also, let's see here. Minnesota looks shaky all of a sudden, says Greg. Well, yeah, maybe so. I mean, like I said, 3 straight losses now. Okay, and that might be it from you guys in the chat here in this one. I'm going to take another over here. Give me the over tonight with the Bulls and the Wolves. I just said, you asked, will it go over? I think it will. This series goes over for sure. Like I said, Minnesota, certainly an under team at home, but again, when the Bulls are a dog, they've been getting the money. All right, the Spurs are on the road taking on the Jazz, and the Spurs a 12.5-point favorite. Total here, 238. Like I said, we're on the Jazz here, and I think Markkanen, though, is going to be out there. We were on the Jazz in that game against Minnesota the other night, 127-122. Minnesota got the win, but the Jazz got the money at home, and now they're up against kind of a similar foe, wouldn't you say, in the Spurs here? Another 12.5-point underdog, just like the last game. The Spurs had their 3-game winning streak snapped. They lost at Houston last out, 111-106. And we've talked about it. These 2 type of teams, you have the Spurs here, 30-14 straight up, but just 12-15 against the spread as a favorite. Meanwhile, Utah, they're 15-29 straight up, but 25-19 against the spread. They're also 15-7 against the spread at home. Markkanen is going to be out of this game. He is one of those players, certainly, that we talk about that is Markkanen in and you take him, Markkanen out and you don't, but it didn't necessarily work out against them in the last game. Markkanen has missed them here right now. It looks like he'll be out again here. Keontae George questionable. Sensabaugh, he's questionable as well. Georges Yang, he's out indefinitely with a foot injury. And Mr. Wesker's favorite, Kevin Love, is listed as probable for the Spurs here. Luke Cornett, he's questionable. Sohan, questionable in this one for the Spurs. They might be missing a couple pieces here in this one. Let's see what you got. Is it still 12 and a half? This thing opened 14. I mean, it's clearly a move here on the Jazz, and this is usually where you kind of take them, but you do like to have Markkanen in there. Let's go to the chat in this one. Spurs and Jazz here tonight. Jazz again, says Cal Dog. Greg says you got quick revenge here in this one. Yeah, these two teams did meet about a month ago, and the Spurs did win 123 to 110. And Mr. Wesker says the Jazz might be diving here in the tankathon. He's going to lay it with the Spurs. He likes it big time, Mr. Wesker's here. And I'm going actually with the Jazz, though, in this one. This is usually their spot right here, these big home dog spots. I'm going to take the Jazz tonight up against the Spurs. Give me the points in this one on Night Moves. All right, we're heading out to the late games now out west. You got Miami taking on Portland here in this one. Hey, we just saw here Portland with a 3-game winning streak right now against Atlanta, the Lakers, and the Clippers. They look pretty good here all of a sudden and playing some of their best basketball, not only in this win streak, but before this as well. They did throw in a couple losses, but that was only after they had previously been on a pretty good winning streak. They're creeping up here to 500 right now with a 22-22 record. That's only one game better than the Miami Heat, which is 23-21 coming in. So they're favored in this game by 1.5. Tyler Hero is out. Ooh, pardon me, guys. Tyler Hero is out of this game here. Also, Ware is questionable for Portland. They have kind of a lengthy injury report, however. Sissoko, he's questionable. Grant questionable, Robert Williams questionable, Drew Holiday questionable. Some of these guys are going to miss this game here, it feels like, coming in. So kind of wonder what's going on here with Portland a little bit on Thursday night, but they still are favored by 1.5. And the total here is 239. Portland continues to be pretty good here of late. They've covered 8 of their last 10. They're also 14-8 ATS at home. They're actually not a great favorite, just 7-9 ATS overall, but still, like I said, they've won and covered 8 of their last 10. Miami, though, usually owns this series. They've won and covered 8 of the last 10 meetings between the two teams. They did play their first meeting already in Miami. Miami won at 136-131. Miami was actually a dog in that game by 3.5 points, but they got it done. The total was 241 on that day, and it did go well over. But Portland right now has gone under in 13 of their last 17 games, but they're 12-4 to the over as a favorite. Miami, meanwhile, comes in here 14-9 ATS as a dog. This one's had some intrigue, it feels like. Miami 4-2 ATS in their last 6. They've gone over in 5 of their last 6 games overall. Help, chat. This one's tough. I want to see what you guys have in this one between the Heat and the Blazers here tonight. I know who I'm on, but I want to hear from you guys. Miami keeps rolling, says Mr. Wesker's Cal Dog is liking the under here. And Gaming Gang, I think, might be on the over. Timmy Two Shoes has Wiggins to hit his threes. It's a get back game for Greg here. Says he's got it at 120 to 118 on the Gibson ratings. I've got the Miami Heat here. I got to try Miami in this one. I love what Portland's doing, but this is a game that Miami's had a pretty good lockdown on. I've got to take the. I'll take the Heat if the Heat don't win. I'll take the Heat in this one. All right, the Clippers and the Lakers here tonight at the Intuit Dome. Hey, these guys really don't have a rivalry, but how about the scathing expose that came out on ESPN.com yesterday, basically saying that Jeannie Buss has thrown her family under the bus, so to speak, and that she's more concerned with enriching her friends and coworkers more so than the family itself. Talking about the breakup of the Buss family after the passing of Jerry Buss, and then of course the firing of the older Buss brothers. And then recently, the younger Buss brothers getting fired as well, all by Jeannie Buss. She's the bad girl here, as it comes out in this recent expose. Really not portrayed that way in some of the docudramas we've seen about the Lakers, the two big ones I can think of anyway. But as ESPN kind of portrays it now, she's just more interested in the relationship with the coworkers and the people who kind of supported her. And when the Lakers went in their downturn after their historic run of championships and winning seasons, and then after Mr. Buss passed away, how they were the worst team there in the league, or one of the bottom five teams for several years, and then also talking about what she possibly thinks about LeBron James as well. So it's got to be a big cloud hanging over the Lakers right now, as if it wasn't already. It's just that now it's more open and in the public here. But hey, they've won two in a row. It's all about the drama with this team. But I suggest you take a look at the article there from ESPN.com yesterday explaining what Jeannie Buss basically estranged from her family, barely seeing them maybe only at the games themselves, not even really communicating with the family, just seeing them there, more communicating with Palinka and the Rambuses and things like that. So really, really awkward here. But Clippers favored in this one by one, total 223. Clippers playing good ball here as well, but they got their bummer news here this week with Kawhi. Going to be sidelined here for a while right now. I mean, no timetable at this point. He's only listed as questionable. The Clippers have returned home here. I guess there's a chance that hopefully everything's okay with Kawhi's knee, and it doesn't feel like he could make the game given the severity and the sending him home from off the road, but he's not listed as out. So Austin Reeves is out for the Lakers here right now, and DeAndre Ayton, he got poked in the eye, and also some talk about Ayton here in that article as well, and also when the Lakers kind of acquiesced to LeBron and who he wanted to bring in when he brought in Russell Westbrook at the time, and they had that disastrous season with him there. Remember, the Lakers, the only title they've ever won was the pandemic title since the glory days of the Lakers. But for the Clippers here, other than Kawhi, that's about it as far as the short-term injury list is concerned. So all right, what's going to happen here in this one? The Lakers take on the Clippers here on Thursday night. Awkward. Uh, Lakers have won and covered 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams. Lakers just 2-6 ATS, their last 8 on the road. It's not very
Major
far
lineman.
the from Inglewood there over to the Intuit Dome, but Clippers have won 6 of their last 7. They've covered 12 of their last 16 coming in. The Clippers are 8-1 against the spread in their last 9 home games. They're starting to like the Intuit Dome. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under here. So let me hear from you in this one. In fact, I think the spread, I might have it a little bit off here, right? Oh no, it's still Clippers by 1. Just the fact that the Lakers opened a little bit of a favorite, maybe Kawhi is okay. And like I said, you just don't want to be sent home from a road trip. But the Clippers are, like I said, back home here right now for this one. I think the Clippers are going to take this game right now. I'm taking the Clippers here tonight. See what you have in the chat. In this one, the NBA will be over at that point. And let's see what you got. All right, the Gibson ratings have the Lakers here to win this one. And Mr. Wesker says, when the drama arises, that's when you fade the Lakers. Greg says the Lakers look good against Denver. They did. And like I said, this is 2 good games in a row here for the Lakers right now. Clippers still, I'm not going to sweat that game on the road against Chicago. They were pretty hot before that. And it's all about money, says Mr. Westwood. Yeah, they actually tried to, arrange it so that the family could be bought out. The other sister, Janie, they really left her out to dry. Timmy Two Shoes with his explanation here of the game. Thank you, Timmy. And Greg says they can't beat him without Kawhi. Timmy says the Lakers have to defend the 3 better because Harden could light them up. And Mr. Wesker is going to take the Clippers here with me as well. That's going to do it for the NBA tonight. 8-game card there. So thank you, everyone, for your comments and plays. Let's go to the college game here on Thursday night. I have selected about 7 or 8 games here, hopefully some of the better ones here. So let's hear from you guys, and I'll go to the college game here on Thursday night. Mostly a mid-major card, but there is one big game here in the Big Ten, and let's go to it with the Wisconsin Badgers. I don't say big game, you know what I mean, more like just maybe the best game, if you will, in the conference here tonight with Wisconsin and Penn State in the Big Ten right now. You've got Wisconsin coming in 5-2. They're Nebraska's 8-0 here right now. Penn State is 0-7 in the Big Ten. So let's try to be fair here a little bit in pumping this game up. But really, it's our only feels like true big game, if you will, a big major conference action. And I'll spit it out as Wisconsin comes in on the road here. 5.5 point favorite in this one over Penn State. Penn State, like I said, has not won yet in conference play, but they are 9-9 overall with this losing streak, to be fair. Wisconsin, meanwhile, has won 4 in a row here. They've looked good here with Boyd and with Winter right now, so they're picking up some steam here all of a sudden. They're 12-2 straight up as a favorite. Penn State's 0-8 as a dog. They haven't won yet as an underdog. Wisconsin 8-6 ATS as a favorite. Penn State 5-8 ATS at home. Wisconsin's gone over in 11 of their 18 games. They've gone over in 8 of 14 as a favorite. Coming into this one for Penn State, meanwhile, 6-4 to the over in their last 10 games here, but Let's see what you got here with Penn State. Obviously struggling here in conference play right now. They do get them. They do get the Badgers at home, but the Badgers are heating up here all of a sudden and playing some pretty good ball here, trying to climb their way up the standings a little bit. Wisconsin's always owned these guys. They've won 17 of the last 20 meetings between the two, although Penn State has covered 5 of the last 6 games. They're usually getting enough points. Wisconsin's won 6 of 7 coming in. They've gone over in 4 of their last 5. For Penn State, meanwhile, this losing streak that they're on here currently, they've also gone just 1-4 in their last 5 at home. Not only have they lost 17 of the last 32 Wisconsin, they've also gone just 3-15 in the last 18 games at home against the Badgers. Let's see what you have here in this one tonight with Wisconsin and Penn State. And, like I said, Penn State without a conference win, but let's go to the chat. And see what we got here with hello to William in the chat. Great to always have Will stop by. Says we're up late here. Hey, we're always up here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel every day at 3 a.m. Eastern, midnight Pacific here with Night Moves. Greg says he's got whiskey here, 81-77. Gaming Gang wants to go over in the matchup tonight. Mr. Wesker's not exactly thrilled with Wisconsin. I'm not either. I know you're backing him, Mr. Weskers. I'm going the other way. I'm going to go with Greg here. I'm taking Penn State here tonight. Give me the Lions at home, plus the points here. Yeah, they're 0-7. Whiskey's looking better, but again, Penn State always getting enough points, it seems, here of late against the Wisconsin Badgers. All right, let's go to the American tonight with South Florida taking on UAB here. College basketball action for Thursday. USF coming in here 11-7. They're 3-2 right now in conference play. They had won 3 straight before they dropped their last game to Wichita State. 86-85 as a 7.5 point favorite in that one. Wichita State's been pretty okay here of late. UAB, meanwhile, 3-3 in conference play. This is the only game in the American actually here on Thursday. UAB coming in off of a loss to Tulsa, 99-77 at home as a 1.5 point favorite. They got clubbed in that game. Before that, they had wins over ECU and Tulane. UAB is 3-1. ATS is an underdog this year, and USF is 4-8. ATS as a favorite. USF has not been a good spread team actually for most of the season. UAB is just 6-5 straight up at home so far. They are 10-7 to the over so far this season. These two teams did play their first meeting already. It was UAB winning 109-106 as a 6.5 point dog on the road. That one went 2 overtimes in that game. So competitive here in that game, but this has been a UAB series for sure. They have pretty much dominated South Florida over the last several years and winning almost all of them, actually. I think they've won several in a row between the two teams here, and they are at home getting points. So, they could get overcome here a little bit by this USF team here. But like I said, it's been all Blazers when these two teams have met. They haven't covered them all, but they've won them pretty much. They've won pretty much all of them when these two teams have played over the last several seasons. So we can have you comment if you want in this matchup between South Florida and UAB here tonight in Birmingham. Let's go to the chat, see what you guys have in this one. And it's going to be Mr. Wesker's going to be on UAB. He says USF is always so public. Bring back Gene Bartow here. Let's go back to the glory days of UAB basketball, right? Here is a Cal Dog on UAB as well.
Major line move.
And the hook brings you back, Mr. Weskers. We all know that. The Gibson ratings here are on UAB to win this game, and maybe a little bit of over. Like I said, that first one, a little bit of a misnomer there with the double overtime game, despite the wild score in that one, but still was a pretty wild, pretty crazy game. All right. Hey, I'll make my call here in this one. We've got one more here. A Gaming Gang liking me over here with these two. All right. Yeah, I got to do it. I got to grab this home dog here, I think, with UAB tonight. Give me the Blazers here plus the points against South Florida. They'll probably win. I'm going to take them on the money line. Hey, we got a couple dozen of you here joining me right now. Not a big crowd, but probably a dedicated crowd of the colleges. So let's continue on as we get into some mid-major action here for sure with Wilmington on the road taking on William and Mary here. And this one I think has just moved here within the last couple of minutes here right now with William and Mary. Look, they're the better cover here, I do believe, or at least if you compare these two teams right now with Wilmington here on the road. I think I'd probably take a look more at William and Mary. Now, I know Wilmington has been awesome, but William and Mary's done a pretty good job. Wilmington comes in here with a great record so far. They're 17-2 overall right now, but William and Mary is 12-6 coming in. Let me see what this line is now. You see it's a pick 'em, so Wilmington's been on fire, but I think it just goes to show you. In fact, Wilmington here, it is now favored here right now by 1.5. Yep. That makes sense. I mean, look, they are the hotter team here. I actually thought they'd be a bigger favorite in this game. They've been so good here, but we'll see what you guys have, what you want to do with this one. Wilmington here, like I said, coming in off of a great coming in on a big winning streak. Usually they've been favored by too many points. Their record ATS actually really isn't that good here. They have gone just 6-11 against the spread so far, despite a 17-2 record so far. They've been favored in 16 of their 19 games and gone 15-1 straight up in those games. But like I said, usually for William and Mary here, just favored by too many points. But here they're only favored by 1.5. So you have to say, hey, maybe if they just need to win the game, then they can do so. William and Mary has gone over in all 7 of their true road games this season. They're only 10-7 to the over overall. So basically 3-7 to the under at home, but on the road, a big time over. William and Mary, meanwhile, is 2-4 to the under at home, but 4-3 to the over as an underdog. So I'm gonna go with this hot team right now, this really good Wilmington team, and their 17-2 record coming in. William and Mary is coming in off of a win over A&T last time out. They didn't cover. They were favored by 13, and they ended up winning it by 9 in that one. So before that, they had consecutive losses to Charleston, Monmouth, and Drexel, including 2 of those games where they were a favorite. So they're starting to clunk it up here a little bit. I got to take Wilmington in this one. I think they're much the best. I know the spread records will easily favor William and Mary here. They are 5-1 against the spread at home, 11-5 against the spread overall. Practically the opposite spread record. Like I said, Wilmington, even though they're 17-2, just 6-11 against the spread, usually laying too many points. Here, it's 1.5 points. So I'm going to go ahead and take Wilmington in this one. Let's hear from you in the chat. Not many on this one, but it is going to be the Gibson ratings here likes William and Mary. Cal Dog likes William and Mary as well. Hello to Andre tonight. I'm going to take Wilmington, you guys. I've got to go with this hot hand. William and Mary's doing a great job, too. Pretty good game. Let me not slight the action here in conference play between these two right now. So currently, let's see if I can't bring up the standings here. We know Wilmington's undefeated, so 6-0 in conference play, and William and Mary is 3-3. So, all right, I'm going to go with Wilmington though in this one. Keep it rolling. All right, let's go to the MAAC now for this one between Marist here taking on Siena. Siena is a favorite here in this one by 1.5. Siena 6-3 in conference play. Marist 6-3 in conference play. They are 2 games back of the 2 teams that are tied here currently for first place in Merrimack and St. Peter's. So for Marist, they come in here with a 12-6 record right now. They were on a winning streak, but did lose last time out to Merrimack, 68-58 at home. They were a 6.5 point favorite, but lost a big game there to Merrimack. For Siena, they have back-to-back wins and covers over Manhattan and Fairfield. Both those teams sub 500 in conference play, but they did get it done. Siena is 12-8 ATS so far this season. They're also 10-7 ATS as a favorite. Both these teams are hardcore unders, especially Siena. They're 7-13 to the under so far this season, 3-6 to the under at home, and 5-12 to the under as a favorite. Meanwhile, Marist 7-10 to the under, 3-5 to the under on the road, and 1-3 to the under as an underdog. So let's see what you got here with these two tonight with Marist and Siena in MAAC play here. Merrimack does play Iona tonight in conference play as well. Marist comes in here having won 4 out of the last 5 meetings between the 2 teams. Marist is just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 on the road. Siena's covered 4 of their last 6, and they've also won 11 of their last 16 games overall coming into this one. So let's see what you got here. That under is pretty significant, but it feels like the sharps are on the over, but still with Marist and Siena, they've gone under in 10 of their last 13 games, 10 of their last 13 matchups. The teams have not met this year, but the game here last year was 65-64 in favor of Marist. Marist has won 4 straight in the series. They did cover. They were an underdog in that game as well. I'm going to go ahead and try the under here in this one with Marist and Siena, and figure that it's still going to be close, man. But let's see what you have. Anything in this one? Mr. Weskers is on Burnt Siena, and Cal Dog also Burnt Siena. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Did anybody have a box of Crayola crayons when they were? Maybe you still got a box of Crayola crayons. Those things are never going to go away. All right, I think I've got a couple more here on the college. I promised you I'd have some good college games. I don't know if they're the best games here on mid-major Thursday, but hey, close games here, closely
Major
rated
line
anyway.
move.
Let's take a look at the next one. All right, Arkansas State here on the road. Man, all these games 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. I'm kind of loading you up on these, but do have Arkansas State here on the road right now, taking on Georgia Southern here. Action coming in here with Arkansas State on the road in this one. They're going to be favored here over Georgia Southern here tonight. And we'll take a look at this one with Arkansas State. Here, look at this total too, and this one, of course, 275 right now in this matchup. So, yeah, we're expecting it here. Arkansas State comes in 12-7. They've lost 2 in a row with the losses to Troy and to South Alabama here in this
Final.
one for Georgia Southern. They come in off of a loss to Coastal, 79-75. They have not been covering well at all right now. Arkansas State here has won the last meeting. They have not met actually in, let me get this straight here, 2 years right now because of the conference changes there a little bit, I believe. Georgia Southern is 11-7 to the over this season. They're also 8-2 to the over in their last 10. Arkansas State also 10-7 to the over here right now with these two. Let's see what you got with Arkansas State and Georgia Southern here tonight. Does feel like, I mean, even though the total's high, man. Let me hear from you guys in the chat if you got anything in this one. Here we go with your plays. Yeah, we got a few people commenting maybe in this one. Mr. Westers, Mr. Westers might have, did anybody eat the crayons? Don't do that. Arkansas State for Mr. Westers. The Gibson ratings here on Arkansas State. They're favored by 2, and look at that, 173. So maybe an under there, it looks like, for Greg. Also, Cal Dog here is on Arkansas State. Arkansas State just 1-4 ATS in their last 5 overall, but they have won 9 of their last 13. Arkansas State has covered 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams, but Georgia Southern right now pretty much clicking here for the most part. They are 8-1 straight up at home. They are 2-5 straight up as an underdog, but it's only a 2-point spread. Georgia Southern has won so far 10 of their last 12 overall. 8 of the last 12 meetings between the two teams have gone under, but so far Arkansas State over in 5 of their last 7, and also Georgia Southern's gone over in 5 of their last 6 games overall. All right. Oh, man, I got to make my call here in this one. I came on the show here hoping to get something maybe from the chat here. I was probably should have passed on this one, but it just seemed like a pretty decent game. I'm going to take the under here. I know that's an outrageous number, and it probably should go very, very close with these two right now. But, Arkansas State just 6 overs and 6 unders as a favorite, and Georgia Southern 4 overs and 4 unders at home. So they're really not in the right scenario, if you will. I think Arkansas State mostly goes over as a dog, and then Georgia Southern gives up more points on the road. I think their defense is a little better at home as part of that solid foundation. So, we know Arkansas State, they're, probably just top 75 in offense, really, and Georgia Southern probably top 65. So I'm going to go under here in this one at 175. Gaming Gang goes over. You got me, Gaming Gang. Thank you, though. Yeah, I've got one more here tonight. I think one of the last games on the card here with UCSD on the road against Davis here tonight. And at least we're into the 9 o'clock hour out east here with the last game on the board. Or no, not the last game on the board, but not in that 7 o'clock window anymore with UCSD going to be a favorite here. They come in 14-5. They've lost a couple of conference games here of late to Fullerton and Northridge. Probably not quite the same UCSD team. They did undergo a coaching change after their good coach bolted after that great season last year. So still a pretty good team here right now. Are UC San Diego 4-3 in conference play. Hawaii and Irvine lead the conference. So pretty important game. Everybody pretty much is in action tonight in conference play, except for Northridge tonight. For Davis here, they are also 4-3. Coming in. This is the first meeting of the season between the two teams. UC Davis is 6-2 against the spread at home so far this season. See what you guys want to do with this one. UC San Diego, UC Davis here tonight in this matchup. I'll go to the chat, see what you guys have here. If anything in this one with UCSD on the road. Want to hear from you in the chat. Here we go. But last game for us here. So we're going to hockey next. All right, here we go. We got Davis for Cal Dog. Greg has got UCSD. 76-7. It's a tie. Mr. Wesker. Yeah, I love this. I do love this UCSD team. This feels like a tough game tonight. Now, okay, I'll ride with the over here in this one with the UCSD and UC Davis. I kind of do like Davis here, but okay, that's going to do it for the college game. I'm going to take the over there as my top play here in this one. And we'll go to ice hockey next. Boy, we go into we're in a tiebreaker here in the fifth set with a Batman Stan here at the Aussie Open. Okay, let's go to the NHL. We can knock this one out and have a great show. Thank you for spending me about 2 hours by the time we finish this one. So great to have you guys here on Night Moves here tonight on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Let's go to the ice right now and take a look at our first matchup with the Golden Knights on the road, taking on the Bruins here. Whoa, a good one here with these two right now. Both teams in really sharp form, although both teams coming in off of a loss. Still, I mean, you got to like what you've seen here from both these teams
Major
right now.
lineman.
Vegas has won 7 of their last 8 coming in. Boston's won 6 of their last 7, including 5 straight at home. Vegas, meanwhile, has won 4 out of the last 5 meetings against the Bruins. Overall, these two teams Vegas won the first meeting at home 6-5 coming in, but man, the Bruins, like we said, I mean, they're so profitable, and Golden Knights are actually much, much better at home. Vegas has gone over in 11 of their last 16. They've gone over in 5 of their last 7 overall. They are 27-21 to the over, including 23-8 to the over as a favorite. Although on the road, like I said, just a little bit more precautionary, if you will. Still, they've gone. Boston's gone over in 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams coming in here. And let's see what you have. I think I'm ready to go, though, with my play. All right, and Timmy says, "Give me the Bruins in this one, please." And Cal Dog says the Bruins as well. The uh, uh, Gibson line has Vegas in this one. I'm going to go with the over here between Vegas and Boston on Thursday night. I'll try the over here in this one. Maybe yeah, right. Maybe the Bruins can wrestle this goaltender away. Here we go. Next up, Blackhawks on the road taking on the oh man, the Hurricanes here, back to their winning ways at 31-15-4. Chicago's been losing a few here of late for sure, but hey, they did win their last game 2-0 over Winnipeg. Carolina, meanwhile, with wins over Florida, New Jersey, and Buffalo. Wow, good run here. Allowed just 3 goals in those 3 games total. Carolina here, 18-8 at home. Chicago just 9-10 on the road. But look, they're getting a big price here a little bit. Still, you've got Carolina 17-18 is 17-28 is a puck line favorite, but Chicago is 32-14 as a puck line dog coming in. Chicago's lost 8 straight meetings to Carolina overall. Carolina's won 7 of their last 9 and 5 straight at home. Not only has Carolina won 8 straight meetings against the Blackhawks, they've also won 9 of their last 10 at home against Chicago here. So, look, can they get the puck line here? They did not get the puck line in the last 2 meetings between the 2 teams last year. This is the first meeting between the 2 teams this season, but man, the Blackhawks have been having some slumps here for sure. Chicago's gone under in 4 of their last 5 games and under in 5 of their last 7 on the road. Carolina's gone under in 4 of their last 6 games here. So, well, Chicago stayed within the Hurricanes here in each of the last 2 games, but those were last year. We know Chicago's been pretty dismal in a few. They're still only 20, 22, and 7 here right now, but it's been a little bit of a rugged stretch for sure. Let me go to the chat and then I'll make the play here for me, and it's going to be Timmy Two Shoes has this one to go under. Cal Dog is on the Canes on the puck line. Mr. Wesker's on the Hawks on the money line here. Timmy says that the Hawks players are dog poo. I think I can say that. I probably can show the graphic on the screen, but I'll just recite it. Greg here says he's got the Canes in this one, 3-2. And Timmy Two Shoes says he's got Stahl here for an ATG on Thursday night. All right, I think that's going to do it here. I'm going to take the Hurricanes to cover this one on the puck line and figure they find a way here to rout against Chicago. They have owned these guys big time, right? Next up, we go to those Sabres. This is a great game here right now, man. Who would have said at the beginning of the season that these two foes that have a pretty good rivalry against one another would have such a great game here? 27-17-5 for Buffalo, 25-15-7 here for Montreal. Montreal comes in here off back-to-back wins over Ottawa and Minnesota. Buffalo, meanwhile, they've lost 2 of their last 3, but still have been playing great. Even when they lost to Carolina, they were in that game against the Hurricanes, and they beat Nashville 5-3. Montreal 14-10 at home this season. Buffalo here in a pretty good groove right now. They've been winning games here. They've gone 9-2 in their last 11 on the road, 16-4 in their last 20. Overall, Montreal has won 8 of their last 12. They won 6 of their last 7 on the road. Wow. Uh, for these two, this is their second matchup here already in 2026. Buffalo won 5-3 at home just a week ago or so. Montreal did win an earlier meeting this season 4-2 between the two teams. That was Buffalo's first win against Montreal actually in quite a while. Uh, Montreal had won the previous 5 meetings between the two teams. So, wow, good game here for sure. Let's see what you got. Seems a little high, but man, I think the Canadians, they've done so well against these guys, but Buffalo's closed the gap so well too.
Major line move.
All right, here we go. The Gibson ratings has it 4-3. A good point could be a higher scoring game, I think, with these two right now. I mean, Montreal's 31-19 to the over. Buffalo is 10-15 to the under as an underdog. 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone over. And even though Buffalo may have some under tendencies, they're definitely not an over team. They've gone over in 8 of their last 9 overall. So, really just one of those where the teams are playing better. You'd think that maybe because of some defense they're a little bit better, but does it reek of a 7-goal game here in this one? Could be now. Look, I've got Luukkonen and Montembeault in there, but I know some sites are saying it could be Lyon in there for Buffalo and maybe even Dovish for Montreal. I'm going to take the over here just in case now, and uh, this is the goaltending matchup I'm expecting. I probably should wait it out here, but you got to think a close game like this, it's going to be 4-3 in overtime, isn't it? Timmy Two Shoes has to go with Buffalo. Cal Dogs got Buffalo. You know what? I know I've been leading the
Major line
charge
move.
here, making sure we're on Buffalo in all these games, but I feel like maybe it could end there a little bit tonight. Kapanen for a goal here for Timmy Two Shoes. Match point for Wawrinka here. Finally going to close this one out. I thought he'd lose this one. All right, next up, the Stars are on the road here, taking on the Blue Jackets tonight. You got the Stars coming in here, 28-13-9. Columbus, 22-20-7 coming in. Columbus was on a winning streak before losing last time out to Ottawa 4-1, but they had beaten the likes of Utah, Calgary, Vancouver, and Pittsburgh. Dallas, meanwhile, stopped a 3-game losing streak with their win over Boston at home last time out. So see what you like here in this one with Dallas here on the road against Columbus here on Thursday night. And not only that, they are a slight favorite, of course. Columbus is 15-17 to the under as an underdog. These two teams have not yet met this season, but Columbus has done a pretty good job. They won both meetings between the two teams. Or let's see, Columbus won the first meeting between the two, actually, 5-1. Dallas has lost 10 of their last 13 overall. They've gone just 2-6 against the spread, their last 8 on the road. Columbus has won 4 of their last 5. They've also defeated Dallas in 9 of the last 13 meetings between the two teams at home. This is a home-dominated series pretty much. Dallas has actually won 8 of the last 12 meetings between the two teams overall. Dallas has gone under in 4 of their last 5 games. Columbus has gone under in 4 of their last 6 coming in. Look, Dallas should be the much better team, but Columbus has had some home success against these guys. Let's go to the chat and see here between Dallas and Columbus. Action here on Thursday. All right. Let's see. Ratings has Dallas to win. And Timmy's got the over here in this one. Oh man, I was thinking the opposite actually. I am taking the under, I'm afraid. Timmy, give me the under in this one with Dallas and Columbus here tonight. Look, this is a 6.5, and I don't really think that we've seen. Cal Dog likes the over as well. These two teams, they don't strike me as big time over teams. I know that of late, yes, there has been some goals here from both of them. 4 of the last 5 meetings have gone over, but these are not overwhelmingly over teams, if I can say it that way, this season. So I'm going to have to take the under here at uh, with the 6.5 out there. It is juiced to the under. I'm taking the under. Next up, we got the Florida Panthers here on the road, taking on the Winnipeg Jets. And look, Panthers have lost 2 of 3. The Jets have lost 2 of 3. Now, for Florida, they did lose to San Jose at home last time out, 4-1. They also lost to Carolina recently, 9-1. Winnipeg here coming in off of a 3-1 win over St. Louis to snap a 2-game losing streak. Winnipeg's the worst underdog in the league, 3-15 overall, but they are 12-9 at home this season. These two teams you got to think over more so here, right? They're combined 55-41 to the over. In fact, Winnipeg is 13-5 to the over as an underdog, and Florida 13-8 to the over on the road here. This one feels more like the over I want to get with here in this one. But look, Florida, you got to consider them as a much better team here. And Winnipeg's had such struggles going just 5. Oh, there's Mats Wilander here interviewing Stan. How about that? Winnipeg just 5-13 straight up in their last 18 games coming in. Florida here has lost 5 of their last 6 games to Winnipeg. Florida's gone over in 10 of their last 15, including 4 of their last 5 on the road, and 6 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone over here in Winnipeg, even though they meet just twice a year. Winnipeg's gone over in 9 of their I'm going over. Let's just cut to the chase here. Give me the over. Let me see what you guys got. I could rattle off a lot of over trends here. Here we go with this one. Timmy says Columbus can get 3 in that game. Okay, here's Cal Dog on the Panthers here. Look, funny, they're only $1.15. Here we are. It's almost like the old tarp line, huh? Okay. And let's see here. Jets money. Hey, hello and welcome to Buffalo Mafia Cards. Man, that's awesome. Great to have Buffalo Mafia Cards in here. Really appreciate it. Got the Bills logo in there. I know it's been a rough 48 hours up there in Buffalo with what's going on with this franchise and the front office and the coaching situation right now. Man, let's hope they get it right. But what a disaster here with the way it's unfolded with the Bills. Hopefully it's going to be hopefully they'll work it out. Hopefully it will be they'll find the right solution there. All right, let me move on to the next one here right now with Senators on the road taking on the Preds. Here in this one, Senators a road favorite, 115 or so, another 6.5 here tonight. Ottawa's lost 2 of their last 3, but they're coming in off of a win over Columbus on the road, 4-1. Nashville, meanwhile, back-to-back losses to beat GK and Buffalo. Nothing wrong with that, although they did get outscored 12-5 in those 2 games combined. Before they had beaten Colorado and Edmonton, so they aren't playing terribly here right now, but Still, Predators just 13-20 as an underdog. Ottawa's not a great favorite, 18-18 actually. Ottawa is 21-15 to the over as a favorite, 16-9 to the over on the road. See what you have here in this one with Ottawa taking on Nashville. Ottawa's lost 6 of their last 9 coming into this one. Nashville, meanwhile, has won 8 of their last 11 games at home. And here, 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Like I said, Ottawa looks like an over team for sure. They've gone over in 5 of their last 7 on the road. Nashville's gone over in 4 of their last 5. But again, 8 of the last 10 meetings overall have gone under between these two teams. I'm going to take the Predators here in this one over the Senators tonight in Nashville. Right, Buffalo, praying this hope. Look, they've got to get this right, Buffalo? BMC, I'll call you here real quick while I'm just making you feel a little better, right? They've got to get this one right here with the new stadium next year and all that. Look, I don't think you should get rid of Keon Coleman. I think that'd be a big mistake. Certainly some issues, some dropsies here, but you've got the best, when you've got Josh Allen, you can make it work. They can work on this. Don't waste that pick, right? Just take your chances here with him. So, okay, let's see here. Timmy says he wants to fade Reimer, so that's going to put him on the Preds. Hello to Devin Grigsby in the chat. You bet we did go over oh, no, I didn't do that game. Maybe we can check it out here at the end of the show. Devin, nice to see you. He wants to look at I saw 2 UC schools, and I thought, yeah, we did that game, but we did UCSD and Davis. And he wants Riverside and Irvine. Yeah, what the heck? Let's do these last hockey games. Don't let me forget. We only got 2 to go. I don't think I'll forget here. We got the Penguins taking on the Oilers, and look at this. Hey, how did the Penguins not start Skinner here? Maybe he will start, but you do have Yari in there in goal. I know that some of the sites are showing Skinner here, but maybe the pressure will be a little bit too much. Maybe Artur Silovs is the guy that you want in there for the Penguins here in this one. Penguins have won 2 straight games with wins over Seattle and Calgary on this road trip so far. Penguins have looked good for sure. Coming in for Edmonton here, meanwhile, they've lost to New Jersey. Last time out, that stopped a 2-game losing streak. But Pittsburgh, 13-7 on the road. They've just been terrific on the road. But Edmonton at home, 12-7 right now, still doing a great job, always holding their home ice. This series has been all Edmonton, that's for sure. 8 of the last 9 meetings have been won by the Oilers. Pittsburgh, 5-1, though, in their last 6 games on the road. They've won 9 of 13 coming in. Edmonton just 2-5 here in their last 7 home games overall here in this one. So let's hear from you, though, with the NHL here. Pittsburgh's playing real well. It doesn't feel like they shouldn't be a $2 dog here in this one. And let's see what they are. Maybe the puck line could be okay here for the Penguins here right now. And we can take your plays in the chat as well here. Five of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over here in Edmonton, and 5 of the last 7 meetings overall. This one feels like it's an over, even with this goalie situation. Maybe they'll have to have these goalies stand on their heads when they face off against one another here, it feels like. But we go to the chat with you guys in this one. Man, Penguins are $1.55 on the puck line. That's what I was looking up there. All right, let's go to the chat in this one, see what you got. All right. Timmy Chushu says Draisaitl returns to the lineup here after his little hiatus there that he was on. Timmy Chushu says they can strike here with that. Man, the Penguins, have not done well in this series, but all right, let's make the pick here from you guys. I'll make my pick in this one as well. I'm going to take let me see what you guys have. Let me see what you guys have in the chat. All right, I guess that's nothing really from the gang here. It feels like in this one. Let me just take the over here with Pittsburgh and Edmonton. These guys flip flop goalies for a reason. Are they any better? Will we see Skinner in here, or will it indeed be Silovs there a little bit? Will it be Silovs? So, all right. That's it for that one. One more here with the action on Friday night. Let's get to it here with our final game on the NHL card between the Detroit Red Wings on the road taking on the Minnesota Wild. Good action here. Detroit 31-16-4. What a year it's so far with our teams here in Detroit right now, huh? With Red Wings and the Pistons right now, both clicking here big time. Minnesota comes in off of a loss. They have won 2 of their last 3. A loss to Montreal last time out after wins over Buffalo and Toronto. So tough little skid there for sure between these two teams, but nonetheless, a great matchup here to wrap up the action at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific time here with Detroit taking on Minnesota here in this one. Go to the chat and see what you guys like in this game, and then the show is over except for our one basketball game that we're going to look at. Sydney, by the way, rolling Tasmania. All right, Detroit comes in having won 7 of their last 8, although they're just 3-8 in the last 11 games against Minnesota overall. Detroit's won 8 of their last 12 games on the road. Minnesota's dropped the last 5 games at home, and they've lost 6 of their last 9 overall. So, yeah, it's been a little bit of a skid here for Minnesota, but they're playing a lot better here over the last week or two. Right now, 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone under, but Minnesota's gone over in 6 straight games right now. They are 16-12 to the over as a favorite, and Detroit is 15-11 to the over as an underdog here. So see what you got in this one, but man, I kind of want to be on the Red Wings here right now, despite the fact they don't fare that well in the series against them. They're the hotter team for sure right now. Let's see what you got. All right. Mr. Weskers wants the golf action. I'll be sending out the golf out there. Timmy Choo-Choo's on Minnesota. Richie Rich is here today. He's got the Wild to win this one. Timmy says Boldy's still out there for the Wild. And Cal Dog on the Red Wings as well. I'm taking the Red Wings here tonight on the road against Minnesota. What a year for the Red Wings. Let's hope it keeps up. That's going to do it. Let's go to our one requested game here between Irvine and Riverside. I think we can even make a graphic for it for my man there, for my there we go. Let me chop it up and put a little graphic here for this one so we could have another video out there. Pardon the typing in the background, but we got to have a graphic. Come on. All right. College basketball action here for Thursday night. It's the UC Irvine Anteaters on the road, favored by 9 here against UC Riverside Highlanders here. And you got Irvine off of a couple of losses here in conference play. They're still tied with Hawaii here. Hawaii takes on Bakersfield. Now, Bakersfield's in last place, so a little bit tougher of a situation here for Irvine, although Riverside's 2-5, so I don't think it's that big of a deal here. But Irvine or Riverside is coming in off of a win over Fullerton as a 3-point dog at home. Riverside's been a decent cover here so far. 9-5 ATS is a dog. UCI 6-8 ATS as a favorite. So usually they just kind of end up laying too many points. It feels like in this series. Irvine's won 17 of the last 20 meetings between the two teams, yet Riverside's covered 4 of the last 5 games overall. Now, Riverside has lost 6 of their last 7. Long term, remember last year they were rolling through teams at home, but just 4-3 straight up at home this year. Riverside, still dating back to last season, has won 16 of the last 20 games at home. So Riverside usually loses, but they're getting too many points here. So I got to take Riverside in this one plus the points. You got to figure Irvine wins and does not cover like usual. Last time these two teams met last December in a conference game, UC Irvine did win 73-60 as a 13.5 point favorite. They did not cover. So Riverside did win last year here 84-80 as a 6.5 point underdog there in a high scoring game. So, all right. I'll take that play, and I really appreciate everyone here for joining me. And there it is. Irvine wins and Riverside covers. That's going to do it for Night Moves. Make sure you join me over at Tony'sPicks.com and check out my premium pick over there for the action on Thursday night. Check me out. Why not head with me all weekend here? Take the 3-day sports premium pass for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and get you ready for the big football games on Sunday. Really appreciate you guys joining me here on the show on Night Moves. Use the promo code Tony T at checkout.
Major line move.
15% off all premium pick packages, including mine here on Thursday. All right, and really appreciate it. Thanks for joining me. 2 hours of action here on Night Moves. Hopefully you enjoyed our time together. Thank you to the chat pros for their picks in the chat box. Everybody, thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back tomorrow with more Night Moves. And for the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Night Moves.